2020 was a pretty bad year for a lot of people, there's no getting around that, but I think we can all agree that the worst thing it did was soften my expectations for Nintendo in 2021. They could have released a Fly this year and I would have been happy. And they couldn't even do that, could they?
Bootleg games. You can fit multiple games in there. Or plot?
Plot. Fictional ape. That's rich.
Our plot is set into motion by the Kremlin stealing Donkey Kong's hoard of bananas. Go, monkey platformer, go!
Hey, what's up? It's your boy Rawk. June is the best time of year to be disappointed. It's damn near inevitable. So, I came up with a genius plan to avoid feeling thoroughly underwhelmed by avoiding all E3 related news until July. It was worth a shot.
The few GameCube games I mentioned were spur-of-the-moment things. They weren't calculated decisions. But this time, I knew exactly what game I was going to get with my shiny new Nintendo 64. Twilight Princess. Ha! I don't care what anybody thinks. Pokepog Wii is an amazing game, and if you disagree, you're wrong and stupid and should rot in hell! Whew. Sorry. I'm not sorry. The only plushes I have from this series are this King Dedede from the recent Kirby All-Stars collection from Sané, and this guy is so cool. Very obviously inspired by the Kirby's Adventure Wii design of King Dedede. Now, of course, you may be asking, how can you tell? Because they keep making random-ass design changes to this fucker. Kirby Star Allies is a good enough game in my opinion, but why was this necessary?
Alright, that should be enough for us to get started. Refreshments are over here, feel free to be as not sober as you'd like, or, if you'd rather, I have a Bible we could read.
I want to drink until I can't see.
Yep. And you?
I don't know. You wouldn't happen to have a copy of Reverend Paradise, would you?
Funny story.
And I'll be the first to admit that much like any other rare or expensive title, it feels really damn cool to own this thing. Why is this logo not centered properly?
Buyer's remorse. There has to be somebody out there who knows about the lunacy of localization. Really, anybody!
Hi, welcome to the Localization Appreciation Station, your one-stop shop for shit nobody cares about. Tonight's story, video games, and as if that wasn't worth not caring about on its own, tonight we're accepting calls from you lovely viewers out there. It's lonely around here.
This guy sounds familiar.
So fellas, specifically those who are baffled by the fact that Bread Rebirth is exclusive to the States, let me lay out a relatable situation for you. You just got back home after a long, hard day of work.
You've lost me.
And all you want to do is sit back, relax, and play your Wii.
Sounds a bit more like me, but you're still missing something.
And you're lonely because your opinion doesn't matter and you own Chibi Robo.
That's me!
You walk over to your nearest local game collection with a hankering to play Wii chess, but then you realize the game didn't release in your region. F that stinks!
But wait a minute, I can play Wii chess. I just choose not to.
Now that we've set the scene, that's all I've got. So I'd like to invite one of our 7 active viewers to offer their takes. You fuckers better come through. Oh, we have a live one.
I eat virginity for breakfast. Please hear me out.
British.
Now, of course, you may be screaming,
But Rawk, you can get around all of the issues you have with the controls by playing the Wii version. Yeah? Well, look at where I am, look at what I brought, and go f*** yourself. Remember when I said I was done with games that I had a lot to say about? Well, I'm going to hell. Nintendo really could have done more with the new Play Control line. But they didn't, so I'll do it for them. Introducing the old Play Control line, a way to play select Nintendo GameCube games on the Nintendo 64. You can't play Pikmin on that!
2 versions of Super Mario Bros. 2. Which one you got depending on what you rolled on the regional dice. Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels for Japan and Super Mario Bros. USA for everywhere else. But Rawk, what if I lived in the US and my parents bought me the Japanese version? Then your parents were dicks!
So, getting married, huh? It's nice weather for it, I'll give you that.
So, have you guys set a date for the wedding?
We sure have. Say it, what time is it right now?
It is 8:22 p.m.
Oh! Well then I'm getting married in approximately 8 minutes.
What are you joking? That's what are you
Adventure on the NES with one question in mind. Did somebody try to fuck this cartridge? How did it get this way?
We've got Freddy, the star attraction, Bonnie, the lovable sidekick, Chica, the one with an Instagram dedicated to food pictures, and Foxy, the sex pest. The gang's all here. You! There are so many environments that the Pikmin are yet to explore, types of Pikmin we can't even imagine yet, and numbers of captains I can't even count to, all waiting for us in a new game. I can't count higher than 5. But we need a new entry in the series more than I need my inhalers.
Which is saying a lot, because watch this. I'm at a greater risk of death now.
Super Mario Run, an auto-running platformer that released on the 15th of December 2016. This game makes me question Nintendo's priorities. Why was Mario not at the top of your mobile to-do list? Why the piss did you make your own version of Twitter before a mobile Mario game?
Because being as smart as a brain-dead chimp is more fun than making good business decisions. Hey, what's up? It's your boy Rawk. I've been setting goals for myself at the beginning of every week in an attempt to do more with my time than just playing Wii chess, and my goal for this week is to have a personality, so I like debating now. I mean, come on, I get to argue with people to convince them that I'm right about a topic that I'm passionate about. I was practically born to be a debater. I could be a political debater, a religious debater. Hell, if the mood strikes, I could even see myself as a maths debater. So let's see what's on the docket for today's debate sesh. No!
After the whole Mario 2 debacle in the States, Nintendo decided to allow Doki Doki Panic to become what it was always supposed to be. They took this game and turned it into what the rest of the world would come to know as Super Mario Bros. 2.
So, did you know that Super Mario Bros. 2 in Japan is not Doki Doki Panic? Super Mario Bros. 2 is Super Mario Bros. 2. It's insane to me that that's a clarification that needs to be made.
The game is divided into 6 different worlds, each with its own theming and boss battle at the end of it, and the entire adventure culminates in a battle against King K. Rool. And I know I should want to kill him, but I'm too busy being horny over him.
Character design peaked with King K. Rool. Why else do you think his design in Smash Bros. Ultimate is basically the same as it is in Donkey Kong Country? It's because he was born without flaw.
Entering development right after the release of Super Mario World, Yoshi's Island is actually this game's sequel. Yeah, I can make a sequel to New Super Mario Bros. Watch me. So, how do I feel about the gameplay here? I don't know. Think I like it? Feel as good as I mean, the whip mechanic is incredibly satisfying and constantly transforming into floating mechanic doesn't really feel like it benefits you at all. The game is designed with the slower movement so damn slow, so it doesn't really feel like a hindrance. When you're able to get the run to work properly, pretty relaxing. It isn't really fun.
I like it.
Oh god, it's my worst enemy! Character development! It took a while for Nintendo to be accepted by the masses. Want proof? Well, stop me when you hear an arcade game that you care about. Wild Gunman, EVR Race, Computer Othello, Space Fever, Radar Scope! Notice how you didn't fucking stop me? Keegan-Michael Key as Toad. I guess it's fitting enough. But on the other hand, Seth oh my god. Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. Nope! Anyway, we head into a cave, kill this lumpy f***, and free Captain Charlie, who is immediately horny.
Look at his face. Does this surprise you?
I had no choice but to play Fortnite with them. So I've spent the past 4 years being lonely to make up for it. Thanks, Fortnite. I fucking hate you.
Hey, what's up? It's your boy Rawk. We gamers are a frivolous species. We need everybody to know how much we enjoy wasting money. So not only do we buy a bitch load of games, but we also buy merchandise for those games. Stuff that we can slap onto our shelves that screams, "Don't have sex with me." And it works.
Oh my god, I'm so excited to play this game! Although I do wish the marketing was less revealing.
This game was a trendsetter when it comes to showing us the whole damn game before we get to play it, and that trend would continue on to this very day. You get like one trailer that's enough to get your hype juices flowing, but then every trailer after that shows way too much. Like, come on, Nintendo, I wanted Motley Boss Blob to be a surprise in Super Mario 3D World, and I also wanted the true enemy of the Waffle Kingdom to be a surprise. Showing off all the twists from a game before I get to experience them myself ruins the fun! What's the point in even releasing the game at that point? Just release a series of books in another game. But I did just read the one single review that exists for this game, and apparently, the marketing material did throw us off about the true relationship between Luigi and his partners. Which is code for they fucking hate him. So not only is the marketing too revealing, but it's also a lie! And good God, I'm going insane with anticipation. I need this game now! Well, everything is a-okay because it's finally here. I finally have my hands on the best game to ever feature Luigi that nobody was allowed to play. I finally have Mario is Missing, you sick f***. I played this game as a kid and absolutely hated it. It was my least favorite game of all time because Sticker Star and Misery hadn't released yet. Now, why did I hate this game so much? I don't know, but I trust 7-year-old Rawk's judgment. He adored Pokepog Wii, so he clearly knew what a good game looked like, and he decidedly reached the conclusion that this wasn't it. I'm scared.
Pokemon Dash?
Because the Nintendo Switch might be the best console mankind has ever crafted. It has the games, it has the compelling hardware, it has the sex appeal, all wrapped up into one bundle of joy that's capable of playing 1-2 Switch. How could you dare to not love this thing?
This thing graced our lives in March of 2017, and we've been gifted pure bliss in the few years in between. All the things that this bad boy can do are so damn unique, and if you disagree, get over in the corner, you freak. You play in dock mode and the Pro Controller feels so damn nice, and then in handheld, oh my god, these buttons were made for mice. The graphics are greater than any handheld device. They aren't the greatest, but do I care? I bought Pikmin 3 twice. The funky ass Joy-Con come with colors galore. I've got enough, but I can't help it, I just keep buying more. But if the hardware ain't enough to bring a tear to your eye, then let's look at the games, there's loads of great ones to buy. And if there's anything that gets me screaming, ayo, what's up? It's the fact that on this awesome console, we're switching it up.
Now I know, not all of the Switch's games are winners, but we got WarioWare Get It Together, don't be greedy.
All the big boys in Nintendo's lineup gave it a go, and I mean, look at these things, there is just no way they could blow. From Super Smash Bros. Ultimate to Breath of the Wild, Splatoon 2 and Pokemon Snap make me feel like a child. Some of their smaller series that were dormant rose from the dead. After 19 goddamn years, we finally got Metroid Dread. We got Pikmin and Advance Wars, we got WarioWare. And we also got Fire Emblem, but I really don't care. But if there's one game on this console that stands above the rest, it's Super Mario Odyssey. This game is the best. With its kingdoms and with Cappy, it's a breath of fresh air. Mario's moveset is amazing, you can get anywhere. And if there's one main thing about this game that keeps popping up, what makes it so damn brilliant is that we're switching it up. Now I won't lie, I'm a platforming guy, and the pile of Switch games in this genre reaches the sky. Each and every one of them is the best sex that I've had. With their charm and their ambition, how could any be bad? But I think I've made my point now, so I guess I'll shut up. The main reason I love this thing so much is we're switching it up.
Hey, what's up? It's your boy Rawk. I have a ceaseless passion for video games. They're what make up the vast majority of my life. But if you didn't already know that, what are you, fucking stupid?
Well, I did it again. This is yet another list of games that I enjoyed the most throughout an entire decade of gaming. It's like something you'd bring to show and tell, only to be too embarrassed to present to the class. But hey, that doesn't change how much I enjoy looking back at 10 years worth of gaming experiences and deciding which ones were my absolute favorite. And I can't wait to do this for a decade that I wasn't even alive in.
So, while I wait another year for another decade's worth of opinions to form, I've got plenty of time to finally catch up on some of the games I've missed over the years, and I know one thing for certain. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 won't be one of them. Hey, what's up? It's your boy Rawk. You know what they say, third tries the charm. Nintendo tried stereoscopic 3D once with the Virtual Boy, twice with the GameCube, and finally found success their third time around with the Nintendo 3DS. So if Nintendo can have a successful third attempt, then surely I can too. I think it's about time I try my hand at a third fruit-based business idea. I promise, I'm not addicted. I'll just have to go to rehab if this doesn't work out. So, apple tennis, anybody? It's pretty simple. It's just like tennis, but instead of a ball, you use an apple. And if you win, you even get to eat the apple. Want to give it a go? Alright. That was an iPhone. Playing Donkey Kong Country is an experience like no other. And to any snot-nosed brats out there that want to tell people that video games aren't art, play Donkey Kong Country and cry yourself to sleep, bitch. I wonder if I have anything else in common with my spirit animal. I mean, sure, we're both ambitious, but Donkey Kong eats all day long, lives in a treehouse, and gets a lot of enjoyment from flinging his shit at people. So yeah, we have a lot in common.
Not only did Olimar turn out to be Louis, but he also stole all of our food supplies.
That's annoying, but I'm sure we're more than capable of dealing with—
And he stole the ship's rubber ducky.
Oh, that sadistic son of a bitch! Alright, that was it for the companies I know jack shit about, and the fact that there was only 2 actual shows is pretty underwhelming, honestly. But at least I didn't have to pretend to care about Tom Clancy. But there's still one company left who can salvage this year's non-E3, a company that I can actually talk confidently about, and a company that's really good at not meeting fan expectations. So, what did Nintendo have?
A Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Direct.
That's exactly what I wanted! Just because the final products of a lot of these games ended up being fantastic in their own right, doesn't mean it's any less warranted to dig into the depths of their development. In fact, if anything, doing so can help nurture a greater appreciation for the game that we ended up getting. And because of that, I'll always cherish video game betas. They're a constant source of wonder for me, and the fact that I'll truly never know everything about any given one of them tells me that I'll never stop being blown away by what I end up discovering. You know what? I'm glad I got haunted. The ghosts of these games have taught me an incredibly valuable lesson. Video game betas are some of the most fascinating aspects of the entire gaming industry. And if it took being haunted for me to realise that, then I wouldn't have had Halloween any other way. Even if I didn't get to do all of the things on my schedule. I'm gonna go rob a zoo.
How am I supposed to pronounce this, Nintendo? The upper and lowercase p's make it seem like it should be pronounced as cop-pad, but the species are known as the copites. So, surely it would make more sense if it was pronounced as copad. I'll go with copard. So in a world without Nintendo Directs, extensive ad campaigns, and in a time where gaming was still fairly niche, how are you gonna find out about all the latest and greatest games? A 3-day-long event held by Nintendo? We're eating well tonight, fellas!
Nintendo Space World? Who's she? Well, she just happens to be Nintendo's solution to E3. 6 years before E3 was a thing. It was a chance for them to show off what they had cooking for that year, as well as giving journalists an excuse to, dear God, talk about Nintendo products. Now, did this have the potential to be an E3 killer? If you want to kill a fetus, then sure! Good God, I was feeling good about living in a pro-Doshin nation, but you guys will always have Cubivore against us. But never Starfy.
Uh-oh.
What?
You didn't get the memo, huh?
Don't tell me.
Yeah, we got Starfy too, bud.
Where does the lunacy end?
I mean, if it makes you feel any better, we only got one of the 5 games in the franchise.
That does actually make me feel better, yeah.
Selfish son of a bitch.
For most series, we're bound to get another game at some point. You really think Nintendo would look at Mario's Tennis on the Virtual Boy and say, we did good, this doesn't need improving? But most of the time, when a sequel is being made, the development team just throw out all of the assets they had and start fresh. And I just don't get it. The games industry needs to take notes from Poke Park Wii.
The gold standard. Hey, what's up? It's your boy Rawk. Give me a sec here. It's just as I thought. It's about that time of year where people decide that loneliness is old news. A lot of people are organizing get-togethers, shindigs, soirees, orgies! Everybody in my neighborhood is getting involved, and I don't want to miss out. I mean, sure, I have Mario Party 7, but that doesn't run the risk of noise violations. Wario, you son of a bitch! Bad example. But come on, virtual parties just won't do. I need to have a real life party. Preferably one that can take place in my house. If only somebody had came up with a name for one of those. Super Mario Bros. 2 is a fascinating game to talk about. Or rather, they are fascinating games to talk about. They're two sides of the same coin, but they're so different in every conceivable way. Both of these games are incredibly enjoyable, and they both feel like they're worthy of being considered the true Mario sequel. But at the end of the day, there can only be one. I think the best way to look at this is, which of these two games influenced the series more? And, spoiler alert, there is a correct answer. Super Mario USA introduced Birdo and Shy Guy, redefined the limits of a Mario level with vertical segments, and introduced characteristics of the main cast that would go on to become staples of their characters for the rest of the series' history. Meanwhile, the Lost levels introduced poison mushrooms. And the series has never been the same because of it. So there's only one question left to answer. Which version of Super Mario Bros. 2 is the best? This one.
I was so damn determined to beat this game, and then Splatoon 3 released. I'm a bitch! Then a few years later, we got Donkey Kong 3. Alright, noted. Junior and 2 are synonyms. Good to know. Donkey Kong 3 went back to basics and once again featured Donkey Kong as the villain. And our protagonist? Stanley the Bugman.
A gaming icon is born. Now that I've beaten all of the mainline Pikmin games, it's finally time for me to decide, once and for all, which of these is my favorite Pikmin 3. It's Pikmin 3.
But if I had to make one bold prediction, I'd say that we were finally going to see the grand return of Imagine Party Babies.
It's not a matter of if this'll happen, it's a matter of when. So, what score am I going to give this presentation? What score would you give a corpse? I'm more of a fan of cremation. Given how conflicting opinions can be on this game and how much I ended up enjoying it, I am very interested to see how this game's follow-up, which is universally praised, ends up stacking up against the two games that preceded it. If I ever get to not live in this cave, honest to God, not even this second piece of paper can make me feel any less miserable about being here. Wait a minute. I can go? I don't have to stay here anymore? Oh, finally! Oh, the sunlight! How I've missed you! My lungs, they're filling with fresh air again! I'm free! I hate it! Well, that was an unexpected way to find out that degradation isn't my kink.
Kink, you say? I think I can help with that.
Even if you could, don't!
God, you're a bitch to get consent from.
'Tis the season.
Tis it?
'Tis.
So, I hear you're bad at games.
Not games, just game.
God, that's even more pathetic.
Yeah, imagine being such a bitch that you couldn't even commit to being a bitch.
Where do you guys keep coming from?
Windows, man! Windows!
Okay, I get it, but why?
Because a bitch in need is a bitch indeed.
Yeah, you need to stop accepting defeat, buckle down and get good enough at this game to make it your bitch.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys are right. I'm better than this. I can become good at Tetris 99. And I will.
That's right. No rest, no sleep. Your life is Tetris now.
If it stops being fun, keep going. How do you expect to be good at something if you're having fun and enjoying your life? If you want to improve, you need to suffer for it.
How else are my experiences with this game going to be validated? If people don't know how great I am, then what's the point in playing in the first place? I do got this!
Hey, what's up? It's your boy Rawk. As a true video game enjoyer, it's one of my primal urges to want to watch video games being revealed. Stuff like that doesn't happen every day, so we really have to savor each and every one of them. Sonic's 25th anniversary was the first and only time I gave a shit about Sonic Forces. But that's just the thing. These things don't happen every day. You really think I'd have something to piss myself to on February 28th, 2022? No, Nintendo doesn't care that much. So when I'm yearning for reveals but none are occurring, what's the solution? Sobriety, basketball shorts, and a press release from the 90s. I'm about to get f***ed all the way up.
Now, how effective is this strategy?
It's too messy!
It depends on who you are. In terms of figures that I do count, I have a fairly small collection.
Ooh! It's time to go for a new high score.
A Plague Tale Requiem has showed off again.
Who?
The game with the rats.
Oh!
God damn, these rats look good! And the game itself is probably tolerable. But the rats! How did the developers of this game have a plot synopsis of fictional dinosaur and violent acts against children and settle on the theming of fucking adorable?
So, child abduction. Thoughts? Those are the cutest syllables my ears have ever tasted. That's fucking psychotic. Let's do it!
The put-me-downs. Games that I did start playing with the intention of finishing that I ultimately ended up putting down for one reason or another. That also make me feel like I should be put down.
If I haven't beat Wario World, then what's the point in living? Hey gang, hope we're having a good time, but if I may, what the f*** is going on here?
He won't have sex with me!
Yeah, I somehow gathered that part, but why does that bother you?
Prostitute?
Did not see that one coming.
Hey man, I said I'd have sex with you if you have sex with me.
But I don't want to have sex with you! I want you to have sex with me!
Well, I guess me and you just weren't meant to be together, were we?
Well, I guess not. We still always have you.
You cheat on me! With a tiny robot!
Listen, I can make it up to you! Wanna go have sex in the middle of a field?
It's not even dark out yet.
Well, how long's it gonna be light for?
15 minutes?
Oh, f***, will you hurry up?
We're wasting precious sunlight!
Bye then.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna head out too. Do you have any more apple juices I can take with us?
Yeah, I have some over there. Take one.
Are you sure you only want us to take one?
You spiked them all, didn't you?
Yes, I did. Goodbye.
Well, we had headache-inducing lights, everybody's drinks were spiked, and there was a lot of sexual misconduct. I think I finally know how to party just like my neighbours!
Playing a 3D platformer with a D-pad is something that even God didn't anticipate. It's far from great, but it honestly isn't enough for me to personally consider it a D-master. But God also didn't anticipate how much it would hurt to control this game with the touch screen.
Oh God! It's a D-Master! It's a D-Master, alright!
The baby ends up landing on the back of a Yoshi on Yoshi's Island, where the game hits me with the horrifying realization that the plural of Yoshi is spelled with an E.
Alright, I'm just gonna say it. This is the problem with the education system.
So, I think the plan with that game is to completely block it out of my mind for a few years and replay it with a relatively fresh perspective.
I can do that, no problemo. Oh god, I just can't resist!
This game sold 9.3 million units, instantly solidifying it as an SNES classic. But, does the game itself actually hold up?
I'm gonna go ahead and say no.
What did you do? You insolent little pest! You've really done it now! I didn't want to have to do this, but you've left me no choice! Mecha Forces, activate!
Were far from the definitive way to play these games, but the motion controls did offer a unique incentive to buy these games on Wii compared to the platforms that could actually handle them.
Oh, I don't need an incentive. I need a cure. Is Super Smash Bros. Melee a good game? I don't even think I need to answer that question for you. This is honestly a perfect sequel. It took what the original introduced and expanded it more than you ever would have expected it to. I know I keep coming back to this, but the fact that this game was developed in 13 months makes all of this content astonishingly impressive, and I have an immense appreciation for this game because of it. I can absolutely respect this game as the biggest leap forward in series history. It just upsets me that I can't enjoy the gameplay. But hey, at the very least, you can change the perspective of the menu, which means that we can finally select characters using the only acceptable camera angle, also known as this. And remember, kids, that's not an opinion, it's a mandate. Video game sequels are a damn fun thing to discuss, probably because there's no true end to that discussion. GB Robo 42 could have came out a week ago and I'd still be begging for 43 because deep down, all gamers are gluttonous bitches. And because of that, there are still so many sequels that I want that I didn't even get to talk about. Like Banjo-Kazooie and Conker's Bad Fur Day, and Punch-Out, and F-Zero, and Star Fox, and Earthbound, and oh my god, what if I die in my sleep before I even get to ask for a new Rhythm Paradise? But of course, that gluttony does have limits, and even in my wildest dreams and horniest fantasies, I could never imagine Nintendo making a sequel to Super Mario Galaxy, because honestly, what would they stand to gain from that? You gotta be fucking kidding me. Hey guys, welcome to the party.
Great to be here.
Now, I don't really know how parties work, so I'm gonna need you guys to fill out these forms so I know what you look for in a great party.
Done.
Alright, let's see here. Under lighting, Maxwell, you put green. Carson, you put epilepsy. I can make this work. Under music, Carson, you put Welsh. And Maxwell, you put squirrel fetishes. So we'll go with no music. And under dietary requirements, you both just put N64 restraining order. What's all that about?
PTSD.
As archaic and aggravating as this game can be, it just gives me a cozy feeling. Whenever I'm playing this game, I always know one thing for certain. This! I'm home.
But this game spends more time grasping for your wallet than actually being enjoyable, and because of that, I need to text my dad.
Huh. He asked if I'd ever played Pikmin Bloom. And all of this has led to one final question. A final summary of my entire collecting experience so far. A question that every game collector is bound to get at some point. What are your favourite parts of the collection?
Well, my Game Boy and NES. I got these two systems around the same time, and for a lot cheaper than I've seen them going for, and it will never not be so cool to me that I own these systems. I love them. The entirety of the Paper Mario series. I grew up playing Super Paper Mario, and to finally get my hands on all of the rest of these games was a treat. And after playing through them all in 2021, this very quickly became one of my absolute favourite series. My two Wii U's. I just think it's funny that I own two of this thing that nobody owns one of. I own a good amount of rarer games. Conga's Bad Fur Day, Kirby Air Ride, all of the Mario parties, including but not limited to 3, 6, and 7, Metroid Prime Trilogy, Dash and the Giant, the first two Paper Mario games, but my absolute favourite of the lot has to be Chibi Robo, my first ever big gaming splurge, and one of my favourites of all time. My Japanese Wii. This was the first time I'd ever dabbled in the import console market, and I gotta say, I wholeheartedly recommend it. Speaking of imports, Chibi Robo Park Patrol and New Play Control Chibi Robo, imported from the States and Japan respectively. Both of these games are great, and I honestly think the fact that owning a complete Chibi Robo collection means importing almost half of the games is really damn cool. I also have an American copy of Mario vs. Donkey Kong 2, Super Mario Odyssey, it's my favourite game of all time, Mario Kart 8. I just have a lot of fond memories with this one. I used to play it a lot with my dad, and it's the reason that I own 50% of my Wii U's. The Donkey Kong bongos and the associated games. I don't think we'll ever see an accessory this experimental and strange ever again, and playing games with bongos is a surreal experience. And of course, my childhood favourite Wii games. Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, Poke Park Wii, Mario Sports Mix, Mario Kart Wii, and of course, Super Smash Bros. Brawl. These were pretty much my first ever gaming loves, and they're still games that I cherish to this very day. But the best part of my collection, without question, is my health coach Stop Smoking with Alan Carr. I'm an asthmatic, so I don't smoke, but if I ever do decide that I hate my body, it'll be so much fun to quit using my brand new DS.
Hey, what's up? It's your boy Rawk. When you spend as much time as I do playing games from 20 to 30 years ago, you can forget what it's like to be up to date on technology. Whenever I want to let my family know how I'm doing, I still send them letters. Nobody told me that wasn't normal. So I think I'm ready to take my first step into the modern era. I'm gonna do some online shopping. So I'm just gonna tell Google, I'm in the mood to buy something. Huh. I did not expect that much porn.
Let's take a look at the most recent Pokemon spin-offs and see if we can spot a pattern. Mobile game. Pokken Tournament. Mobile game. Mobile game. Mobile game. Mobile game. Mobile game. New Pokemon Snap. Mobile game. Mobile game. Mobile game. Mobile game. Mobile game. Stop! Where's the Pokemon Dash sequel? Well, we've been on quite the journey today, and it doesn't end there. Because we have one final viral game to take a look at. Fortnite.
Fuck! I don't like this game.
Well then what about websites like PlayAsia and AmiAmi, both of which sell games from all of the current consoles and merchandise from every series under the sun? I could buy a Waluigi plush. Okay, scratch that, I couldn't buy a Waluigi plush. Well, I suppose I could settle for a Blathers plush. Not that either. Okay, let's specifically search for things they have in stock. Oh, yes! They sell plastic porn, too!
Oh, God. Now, where is my credit card? Hey, what's up? It's your boy Rawk. Something feels different. Something feels wrong. Hello? Who's there? Hey, what's up? It's your boy Rawk. We all have those moments in gaming that only come around every so often. You feel like you really have to cherish them because once they're gone, they're gone. I'm of course talking about moments like this.
I'm sick of this fucking bullshit!
I've missed those moments. Games nowadays just don't make me miserable enough anymore. Like, why would I bother playing through Yoshi's Crafted World if I'm not gonna get fucking castrated by World 3? Games are trying to appeal to a wider audience now, I get it, but sometimes I just want to fucking hate everything. And I always have a friend here to help me with that. I personally think that digital and physical each work best together. I obviously vastly prefer physical releases of games, but that doesn't mean I've never bought games digitally. It's a nice option to have, and for some games, yeah, I'll indulge. But that's all it should ever be. Another option. It should never straight up replace physical alternatives. And honestly, I don't think it'll ever be able to truly get rid of physical games. But I don't know if you could tell, I'm a little bit biased.
You mean to tell me there were dragon coins in this game? You mean to tell me that nippers used to look like piranha plants? You mean to tell me you don't care? Does this make Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D the definitive way of playing this game?
I'm gonna say yes, purely on the basis of this game making a damn inspiring before and after ad.
This was me before Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D existed.
God, I love Donkey Kong! But I'm gonna need surgery after playing this game!
And this is me after Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D existed. The difference is astounding.
So what exactly is up with that cow?
God damn it, go away. I don't want you as a guest speaker.
So I dusted off Wii Chess for nothing?
You mean the game I specifically said I couldn't play, which was the catalyst for the mental breakdown that led to me hosting the show?
I'm sorry, I just can't imagine a life without this thing. What's that like?
It's a living hell. It's like drinking lemonade and realizing it's infused with rat poison.
Is there rat poison-free lemonade?
In America, there is.
God, that must be hell. Is there a cure?
I don't know. But talking about stuff no one cares about helps sometimes.
Well then, let's talk about some region-exclusive games!
Welcome to the show.
Donkey Kong Country features animal buddies that'll join you for a level or so every now and then, and they all expand the available moveset in incredibly fun ways. We've got Rambi the Rhino, On Guard the Swordfish, Espresso the Ostrich, Squawks the Parrot, and Winky the Frog. The filthy f***ing frog. The disgusting wrinkly lump of a frog.
Hey, what's up? It's your boy Rawk. Handheld gaming and console gaming have always been completely different beasts, and handheld gaming has always been pretty limited comparatively. A lot of games are held back due to the weaker hardware, that's just a fact. And yet despite this, handheld consoles have always been home to some terrific games. But now with the Switch, we don't have those limitations. Home consoles and handhelds are finally at peace with each other. But what if we still wanted handheld games to be held back? Not by limiting hardware, but by shitty design. Well, welcome to mobile gaming. May I offer you Mario Kart Tour and a vasectomy? Hey, what's up? It's your boy Rawk. You think I have time after buying all of these? Gaming is a very time-consuming hobby. I spend so much time keeping up with gaming news, buying games, playing games, talking about games, that sometimes I forget to breathe. Granted, I'm asthmatic. God, this is really getting to me. I need to find a way to whittle down my backlog, even just a little bit, because if I don't, I won't be able to spend all of my time playing video games. I'll have to spend my time being a functioning member of society.
I wonder what year we're gonna start with.
I mean, I wasn't really planning on starting there, but who am I to argue with the roulette?
I can't believe I was wrong. I've spent so much of my life hating this game, and all for what? For me to eventually end up liking it? Is that a disease? What else have I been wrong about all this time? Was Chibi Robo Ziplash actually a good Chibi Robo game? Is Pogi Park Wii actually bad? Is dental neglect actually a bad thing? I don't know! But you'd need a damn miracle for me to evolve enough to not hate this piece of shit.
I had no idea could go this wrong this quickly. Wait a minute, where the hell's Maxwell?
Oh, what the f happened here?
I finally know what alcohol poisoning is like.
This was apple juice.
Yeah, I'll spike them.
Why would you spike your own drink?
To show my liver house boss!
Suddenly your drinking habits are the least of my worries.
Why won't you have sex with me?
Christ.
This was no longer an event for companies to show consumers what they had coming soon. This was an event that these companies were trying to win. This motivated companies to make their shows better and better, so that they could say, "F
Sony, the Xbox is so much better. It has Halo."
Alright, that's fair. What else you got?
You sure you don't want to talk about Halo some more? Viral games are an interesting little pocket of the gaming industry, and after spending a decent amount of time with a good handful of them today, I can see that they're all lovingly made. They aren't bad games, it's just that a lot of them aren't really my thing. And it's okay to not like these games, just like it's okay to absolutely adore them. But I will say, it's incredibly apparent when games are getting hate just because they're popular. Fortnite in particular gets shit on all the time, and most of the people doing so haven't even played the game. They just keep seeing its name pop up in media and form an opinion based on that alone. Now, of course, you may be saying, but Rawk, you hate Fortnite. Damn right I do, but I invested a year of my life into it. But at the end of the day, viral games are good for the industry and can provide fun and memorable experiences to people who typically wouldn't be caught dead using an Xbox. And even though they are good games, I personally think that we should begin categorizing viral games in the exact same way we categorize viral infections. That way I can say definitively that Fortnite is a fucking disease. If I buy a new game and wait to play it until I finish the game I'm currently playing through, then I feel terrible for putting this straight into the backlog. But then if I put down the game I'm currently playing through to start playing this game, then I feel awful about not finishing that game and putting it back in the backlog. There's no winning here!
If you ask me, Metroid Prime undoubtedly deserves all of the praise that it gets, and enjoying this game is a prerequisite for me to spend the rest of my life searching for a similar adventure to call my own. I can't do this anymore, man! I want to go home! I'm stuck in this tiny ship with nowhere else to go. I can't even go outside and enjoy the lack of gravity because I'm asthmatic. There's no oxygen up here. If the atmosphere even looks at me funny, my lungs will collapse, and I won't be able to take my inhaler because I'll be wearing a fucking space helmet! I will die alone in space, and I won't have even had a chance to say goodbye to Chibi Robo! I can't do this! Huh. I just activated the ship's evacuation protocol. Oh my god, I can't stand this! Is it really that hard to reduce the price of your games without having them jump off the shelf and scream, "Hey, I cost less than Integrity now"? Do you really have that little faith in your consumer that you just have to scream about a price reduction? Did Nintendo not think their fans are capable of noticing, "Oh sweet, Smash Melee is a third of the price now"? Are we not capable of reading a fucking price tag and saying, "Oh, this game's cheaper than the other games"? Good for me! And if anything, looking at how much these games stick out compared to the rest of the library, why would any consumer who's too dumb to read a price tag think, "Wow, I should buy this"? You're trying to tell me that consumers had a choice between Chibi Robo and this version of Mario Party 5, and this sold more. Okay! And speaking of the GameCube, that system didn't do all too well sales-wise, so Nintendo lowered the threshold of titles being eligible for a Player's Choice release. They no longer had to sell 1 million copies, they only had to sell 250,000. And that is how we end up with a chicken fucking little Player's Choice release. God damn it!
But Pikmin, on the other hand, was helmed by Mr. Miyamoto. He was the franchise lead, and even if the first game didn't do too well commercially, it seemed that the game meant far too much to him to just give up on it. So, wanna know what he did?
I thought he became an alcoholic.
But good news! This franchise has made an entire generation of people despise the Toreador March. High on Life, a game where your weapons talk to you. Finally, my prayers have been answered.
I think I have something that would improve your face.
And what might that be?
I was using that eye to watch the Xbox show!
After we awaken all of the sages, we head back to the Temple of Time to discover that Sheik was Zelda?
If I was a 90s kid, I would have shit my pants at that reveal. But, joke's on me, I decided to wait until 2022 to play this game, so I shall remain full of shit.
The only other thing that really happened in July was the great retro game price inflation. People were supposedly buying box copies of the original Super Mario Bros. And Mario 64 for millions of dollars. Fun fact, did you know people were fucking idiots?
But it's okay, Rawk. Have 2 peppy hair figures and feel better, you little bitch.
Fine. Alright, obviously I could ramble on for centuries about games that I want HD-ified, but I think I'm gonna end this off with one final request. It's pretty out there, and honestly, I don't think it's something that Nintendo would ever do, but damn it, that isn't gonna stop me from wishing for it. My final request is Super Mario Odyssey HD. Having this game on the Switch in HD, that would be the dream.
Well, I think now's as good a time as any to pick up right where we left off and take a look at another batch of Nintendo Space World events. And if you disagree, well, I didn't ask you, fuckface. Let's get this show on the road.
It's the moment we've all been waiting for. They're finally talking about Forza, so you know what that means. Nap time!
Wake me up in an hour. Alright, now I'm in the Yoshi playing mood. It's gonna be difficult for any of the games that follow this one to top it, but if this game is any indication of what's to come, then I cannot wait to experience the rest of what this series has to offer. Which will one day include Yoshi's Cookie. But I cannot stress this enough. Today is not that day! So,
let's see what they have cooking for us this year. Did somebody say Forza?
Yes! I said if they show Forza, I'll fucking scream!
Well, after playing through this game and adding it to my pile of rare and expensive games, I think it's safe to say that my boredom is officially cured! I wonder how my donut's doing. Jesus Christ, we put these things in our bodies!
Hey, you ever play a game with bare minimum gameplay and think to yourself, fuck man, I wish there were 12 more of these?
I've spent so much time wanting this that I don't even know how to react now that I have it.
Next up was Square Enix.
Kidding.
Yeah, we have another fallen fighter here, as Square Enix didn't hold a general presentation this June. Is it okay for me to not be disappointed?
Oh wow, another studio that isn't Nintendo that Rawk doesn't care about. Who would have thought? Listen, I'm open to having an opinion that matters, but after their abysmal showing at E3 2021, my give a shit meter was out of commission. Good God, man, they may as well have force-fed a diabetic kid chocolate on stage until he died at last year's show. To which all of the Square Enix fans would have said, at least it wasn't a drug overdose. Yeah, but the kid's still fucking dead, though.
But to be fair, I think I'd rather die by sugar than ketamine.
Do I have faith that Square would have given a better show this year? They've made some of the most revolutionary and well-revered games of all time, so I hardly think one bad show is indicative of any and all future shows. Would I have been surprised if they f***ed up again? No, and I'd be £500 richer. Does pandering count as f***ing up?
Alright, let's be fair here. Square Enix did hold a presentation celebrating the 25th anniversary of Final Fantasy VII. I didn't realize it was possible to be anti-horny. I'm not trying to downplay the importance of this game, don't get me wrong. I just don't see the worth in doing a presentation on one game or series and having that be your big summer show. Like, yeah, I could watch the Sonic Central in June, or I could actually be happy. So, I'm sorry to say it, Square, but you have once again failed to pique my interest. So much so, in fact, that I'm going to another funeral instead.
Oh my god, they didn't even get the corpse right!
The first of which being the pee meter. And before you ask, no, I'm not gonna make a piss joke. Urination isn't funny, damn it. It's something I need to see my doctor about.
The fictional man who dresses like a frog can piss better than I can, Doc!
Technically speaking, any platform's digital storefront could be a contender for Virginity Taker of the Month. But come on, look at me. Do I look like I'd feel fulfilled by that?
Do I look like I feel fulfilled normally?
There are basically two ways to buy games nowadays. I would say digitally is the third option, but look at me. Do I look like someone who buys games digitally?
I have not missed this place. So, turns out it was inevitable. I was destined to die before playing Ocarina of Time. Maybe this was just a lesson to not try new things. Well, I have nothing to do here. The Afterlife does not have a Switch Dog, so I can't play Mario Golf. And I would play this Wii that's still here, but I don't want to be rude. Wait, if I'm dead, then why do I still exist? Isn't death usually a pretty permanent thing for most people? Unless... well, either playing Ocarina of Time is my unfinished business and I'm going to be roaming the earth until I do it, or... I'm already in hell.
Maxwell, didn't feel like dressing up, bud?
Would he? It looks beautiful.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Rawk. Before we begin the ceremony, I have two questions to ask. One, I'm not ordained.
That's not a question.
Oh, an issue, really?
And two, where is your bride?
No, don't worry. She's here.
Alright then. Do you, Troy Prostitute... Wow, you really do share a name and a profession, don't you? Do you take... Winnie Uffelman to be your lawfully wedded wife? Who the f*** is Winnie Uffelman?
My one true love.
He married the Wii U gamepad. And the marriage was consummated. I'm never gonna be able to look at Pikmin 3 the same way.
Sticking on the theme of playing games as jelly beans, Among Us!
Is that a slur?
I mean, it's fine. Kirby doesn't need to have multiple jumps. He can work perfectly fine without them, right? Yeah, but I want them! So, I could have given up at this point, or I could have bought a Wii for cheap, but there's no way of guaranteeing that that puppy would be compatible. I would only know when I actually had my hands on it, so I ended up buying a Japanese Wii.
Allow me to introduce you to 3 whole reasons not to talk to me.
I never thought I'd see the day that I owned 3 Wiis and was in a cult.
Hey, what's up? It's your boy Rawk. Fun fact, that's the first time those 5 words have ever been said in space. This is a pretty big moment for me. As the founder of the We Have Nothing Better to Do, so let's go to Space Society. We're up here doing the work that nobody else would dare to do, such as... Get back to me on that one. To make me feel more comfortable with being so far away from everything that I hold dear to me, I was allowed to bring 3 personal belongings that would allow me to feel joy again. Why am I doing this? So I brought a Nintendo GameCube, a GameCube controller, and a game. Being in space, I knew I had to pick a game that would remind me what life on Earth was like, and there were plenty of options. Super Mario Sunshine would have reminded me what the sun felt like. Animal Crossing would have reminded me what people are, and in hindsight definitely would not have done that. But I decided to go with Chibi Robo, a game that will remind me what it's like to live in a house and not in space. Why does God hate me?
But I do have one game I'm suspicious of, and another that I know for a fact is a fake. Both of these games are in my DS collection, and they're pretty grotesque. Let's start with the one I know for a fact is a fake, Yoshi's Island DS.
It's insulting enough that this game's bad, but it's a fake too? Come on!
God, Rawk, you have so many video games! How many of them have you played?
It's a secret.
But if you take the time to allow yourself to be truly immersed in its world and the nuanced refinements to the gameplay, you'll almost definitely find it to be the most consistently enjoyable Pikmin experience. But nobody did that and would rather bitch about Pikmin 2!
But do I care what other people think? No, because I bought each of these games twice anyway. And besides, I finally perfected my soup recipe. Okay. I think I know what went wrong. It was the secret ingredient again. I'm not even gonna say it's bad, I just wouldn't put it in soup.
The console was shown off alongside 13 games. Super Mario 64, Kirby Ball 64, which would become Kirby Air Ride roughly 7 decades later, Zelda 64, Mario Kart 64... That's a weird way of counting to 13. Now, some of you have probably been dying to say, but Rawk! Mario Sports Mix already got a sequel! Mario Sports Superstars on the 3DS.
Oh! My mistake. I should have said what I'm about to say so much sooner. The door's that way.
I personally define a bootleg as the latter, an unofficial reproduction trying to trick people into thinking it's real. It's like a Trojan horse, but instead of killing me, it just makes me sad.
Ocarina of Time is a fantastic game. I don't think it's my favorite of all time, and I'll be honest, I've played a lot of games that eclipse it in many aspects. But really? That doesn't matter. Ocarina of Time is still an experience that stands toe-to-toe with games that released decades after it did. And a lot of those games, they have Ocarina of Time as their primary inspiration. I am so glad that I decided to give this game a go, because it's such a special one. And I honestly think I'm gonna cherish this game for years to come. Uh-oh. Did I do something wrong? Oh my god, I'm back! Learning to love Ocarina of Time truly was the antidote! My death is cured! What do you have to say about that, Mr. Tombstone? My soul will never find peace. Alright, of the games I've promised to play, I've checked off Pikmin 2, I've checked off Ocarina of Time, and I've even checked off Kirby's Epic Yarn. So next up is... Yoshi's Crafted World. I don't know about this one. Pikmin and Zelda were games that I'd never played before. Kirby's Epic Yarn was a game that I hated and wanted to learn to tolerate, but with Yoshi's Crafted World... I mean, it's not as if I can go, hey, what's up, it's your boy Rawk. I'm gonna play through a game that I really enjoyed the first time around, but have had no desire to return to. It just wouldn't feel right. But it's not as if I don't like Yoshi. Yoshi's Island is an absolutely incredible game that I've... never fully beaten. Well, that's 5 years in prison right there. Maybe that's why I'm not in the mood to play Crafted World, because I haven't beaten any of the games that came before it. Maybe if I do that, then I'll be able to give a shit about this game. I fucking love excuses.
I think it's about time we saw the return of the entire Wii series, because these games are far too iconic and honestly, too good to not make a comeback. I mean, come on, you wouldn't tell Jesus not to come back from the dead. I know a few guys who did that, and guess where they are now?
Well, let's just say they don't get to play Wii chess anymore.
This bottle cap is worth 100 Pokos, the national currency of Hockatate. And we find this out because this here traffic cone sucks it up without even asking Olimar. Because damn it, his job is more important than his kid.
Work-life balance is for pussies. Is it over? I think it's finally over! I'm finally free! I can spend the rest of my night without the burden of being haunted! But something still feels... off.
I mean, Project Zero Maiden of Blackwater didn't get a physical release in the States, but it sure did over here. That did wonderful things for us. But outside of these games, I got nothing, man.
I mean, that's not necessarily true. One of the most obvious games to jump to that didn't come to the States is Doshin the Giant.
It's pronounced Doshin.
I don't care.
You should. Hey, what's up? It's your boy Rawk. You ever have people tell you that you're not a true fan of something until you've experienced where it originated from? Like, man, have you even drank milk if you haven't sucked off a cow? I personally feel like I've been kicked in the neck every time I hear somebody say that. But it did get me thinking, despite my crippling passion and blind love for the series it initialized, I've never beaten the original Super Mario Brothers. How the fuck? I could play this thing on a fucking toaster, and yet I haven't even taken the time to sit down and beat it. What kind of Mario fan am I? A Mario fan who respects his own time. I'm sure the fan management committee will give this one a pass. I'm sure I'll be fine. Son of a bitch. I can't take this! I can't deal with people not thinking that I'm a Mario fan. I have Lonely to be, and I won't be that if people don't know about my obsession with a fictional plumber! So just to make sure nobody has any doubt that I have no life, I'm taping this controller to my hands, and I'm not moving until I've beaten this game! My virginity's at stake here! Hey, what's up? It's your boy Rawk. The other day, I was tidying, and I discovered something absolutely crazy. Oh, there it is. My favorite shoe. And there's another. They made a sequel to my favorite shoe? And that got me thinking, what other products deserve sequels? And more importantly, which ones already have sequels that I'm unaware of? I mean, surely they'd never make a sequel to Splatoon. Wait a minute. Holy shit! You mean to tell me there's more to life than Mario?
Nope. Yup. Now, why do I say that the shows before 95 weren't all too great? Because their summaries could fit on post-it notes. My favourite things about nature, in order, are sunsets, flowers, and glass barricades. They are the reason I never go outside. I don't mean to sound rude, but who exactly are you? And what did you do with Mario? The motion controls need to be recalibrated on the Switch. A lot! Because of how much they drift. Who would have thought?
The Switch's controllers must be great at Mario Kart considering how much they drift. It says laugh, you pieces of shit!
Saying you're a game collector is a fun way to come out as a hoarder. Like, tell me the difference between these two images. That's right, there isn't one.
Hi, my name is Rawk, and I am a game collector.
Hey, what's up? It's your boy Rawk. The other day I realized I don't have enough pictures hung up in my home, and by not enough, I mean none. I mean, can you really blame me? Look at this wall and tell me, oh, yeah, this needs the Northern Lights on it. I just never saw any need for them. But that all changed when I saw an ad that claimed to turn any pet picture into a poster, and now I'm a changed man. Allow me to introduce you to the first poster to ever have itself plastered on my wall, a poster of my very favorite pet. Wait a minute. This is a fake. I don't have a dog.
From what I've gathered, the optimum strategy to playing this game is to sit down, take a good look at the level, and do the following. The targeting in this game can be absolutely ridiculous. Some games it's fine and manageable, and other games you either have 102 of the 99 players targeting you, or only one person targeting you, but they send 14 lines your way every 0.3 seconds.
So it isn't the Tetris that's the problem. It's the 99. So,
It's not about being the world's best Tetris player and sending as many lines as possible to other players. It's about being able to think on the fly and deal with other people's lines as effectively as possible. I don't need to do anything flashy. I just need to be able to deal with these obstacles as they come. Preventative measures will benefit me, but my ability to deal with things on the fly is what will ultimately end up being my greatest strength, or the reason for my downfall. Okay. I'm ready for this. I've trained for this. All of the energy that I've put into this game over the past several minutes is about to pay off. It's time to win at Tetris 99! Well, if my time with this game has taught me anything, it's that there's no easy out here. Actually, I can think of one. It's a long shot, but I might as well try it. Sonic Forces is bullshit! Worth it.
These stories were included with the sole intention of marketing this up-and-coming Luigi game. A very unique way of advertising a game, I must say. It did not work.
Despite how painfully obvious this advertising was, nobody knew that this game existed, and therefore, nobody bought it. That means that this game is incredibly hard to come by nowadays, but not impossible. After a bunch of research and zero exposure to sunlight over the past few weeks, I've finally been able to track down a copy of this ever-elusive Luigi game. It was an eBay bid, which made me feel pretty nervous. Until I realised nobody knows this game existed and I was the only bidder. So while we wait for that to arrive, what better to do than read through all of the marketing material for this game, because damn it, nobody else did.
Hell, they even remade the original for the 3DS in 2018. I mean, if you say so.
The original dream for Luigi's Mansion finally came true. Christ is born again, and he runs like piss.
Well, if we're in the mood to buy furniture, we could always trundle on over to IKEA's website. Now, of course, I know what you're thinking. Rawk, IKEA have stores, and you have legs. But take a second to imagine me trying to carry a Klepstad all the way home. It just wouldn't work.
Believe me, I've tried.
You ever have the urge to tackle an obstacle course as a jelly bean? Of course you have, which is why Fall Guys exists. To satisfy the lust. I've never been this close to a vegetable before.
Because if I can't handle soup, I sure as hell can't handle salad.
If only more people got to experience some of the system's best games. If only the GameCube's best games were on much better selling hardware. If only I could feel Mario Power Tennis. I'm welcome. Surely I can trust Activision and AA. And if not them, I can definitely trust Nintendo, right?
Knock knock. Who's there? Satan.
Hey, what's up? It's your boy Rawk. Don't take this the wrong way, but I don't have time for chit-chat tonight. I've got a schedule packed full to the brim with Halloween-related activities, and unfortunately, video game talk is strictly anti that schedule. The first thing to do was find a costume, which is something I've really been missing in my life since, well, the incident of Halloween 2021, but this year, nothing could stop me. I decided to battle one of my greatest fears with my Halloween costume this year, so I decided to dress up as a pirate. Because emulation terrifies me. And now I'm on phase 2 of my plan to make Halloween my bitch, which is answering the time-tested question, trick or treat. Now, it may only be 5 PM and I may be the only person above the age of 12 out tonight, but that's not gonna stop me from having a good time and nabbing myself an adequate amount of materials to have a solid munch sesh when I get home. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got some strangers waiting for me to ask them for food, which will undoubtedly lead to a smorgasbord of judgment. Wouldn't have Halloween any other way. Of all things to f luck with my schedule, I did not expect it to be you guys.
Is it rude to ask what you did expect?
I don't know, bees?
Are you allergic?
No, I'm just a bitch. And while we're on the topic, you guys aren't wearing Halloween costumes?
For what reason would I be wearing a Halloween costume? What am I, 6?
Legally, yes.
I mean, I told these guys I was going to wear a suit, but I ultimately decided against it in the end.
Why? What kind of suit was it?
My birthday suit.
Good God, you're disgusting.
Yeah, that's what these guys said.
And I am dressed for the job I should be at right now. I'm offended they didn't notice.
What do you do for a living again?
I'm an EA employee by day and a McDonald's chef by night.
What category does 5 p.m. fit into?
Well, do I look abused?
Is that a trick question?
I bet he's dressed as an EA employee.
I bet he's dressed as a bitch.
Guys, I'm in my McDonald's uniform.
Shouldn't you have a hat?
And shouldn't you have a purse?
I knew my costume was missing something. I'm gonna have to add something to my schedule now.
What did you add?
Rob a zoo.
Well, before you go and do that, we thought we'd give you a heads up.
Don't.
We've been hearing about some pretty freaky stuff going on around here. Inanimate objects coming to life, wreaking havoc, the usual October stuff.
Do we know what's causing it?
It could be ghosts.
It's Halloween. I'd be offended if there weren't any ghosts out.
All we know is that it's affecting people who own excessive amounts of things that no one cares about.
Wait a minute. I own things that nobody cares about.
Oh god, you're f***ed.
I gotta go. Oh, wait. Will one of you rob a zoo for me?
No.
Thanks. Wish me luck.
No.
Happy Halloween.
And for the Wii U, I'm gunning for a full set for this system.
Not to brag, but my therapist started seeing a therapist after I told him that.
Hey, what's up? It's your boy Rawk. It's not possible. It can't be done. This isn't something you can avoid. It's an inevitability. This topic can't be discussed without asking this question. Succumb to your fate, Rawk.
No. No! No! I don't want to be a cliche! Hey, what's up? It's your boy Rawk. I just had the craziest dream. I was becoming a cliche, and we all know that that's not possible. I don't think the Metroid Prime Federation Force is a good video game. Did you know that Super Mario Bros. 2 is Dogi Dogi Panic in Japan?
And I swear to God, I have this Waddle Dee plush. I just don't know where the hell it is. I have been looking for over a year at this point, and I would buy a new one, but I need surgery.
The vasectomy didn't cure my asthma. Life is meaningless.
Next up, we saw that Fall Guys was coming to the Switch after initially being exclusive to PS4 and PC.
Oh wow, I can't wait to play this game when it comes to the Switch in summer. Oh, yes I could!
Yup, our first contender is out of the ring. Ubisoft did not hold a press conference this year.
Oh no!
After seeing mixed reception, minimal downloads, and a pretty inconsequential amount of revenue, Nintendo decided to end support for Dragalia Lost sometime after July 2022.
So that means if you want to get your hands on the good stuff, you have to either go online, which makes you so much more susceptible into being scammed into buying something that isn't the real deal, or you have to go so far out of your way to find an actual shop that sells these items, only for it to smell like an ashtray inside. How do you have time to smoke 40 a day? You should be gaming! So, in conclusion, video game merchandise is keeping me alive. Just because I need oxygen to live doesn't mean I can't be critical of it.
So while New Super Mario Bros. Is a wicked solid game in its own right, Wii Sports absolutely takes the cake here. That is if we aren't counting the best game that came out in 2006.
When will I stop talking about my love for this game? When the dog does finally pull the plug.
Hey, what's up? It's your boy Rawk. Have you ever been in a pickle where you want to buy a video game but then you realize you're drowning in debt? Like, I had to take out a loan just to buy cereal. But come on, just because I'm in debt doesn't mean I don't want to play Mario Party 5. In fact, I do want to play Mario Party 5. I just realized I'm allergic to budget re-releases. Somebody call an exterminator.
I was obsessed with this game when it first came out. I would play it all the time. But I haven't actually played it in the past year or so I'm excited to finally get back into it. I'm sure it'll be a blast.
Alright. Let's do this. Alright, just gonna start nice and simple here. There we go. Boom! Cleared a line already. Nice. Let's see if we can keep that go. What the f***? I should have put that down the side, son of a bitch. I did it again, and I've blocked myself off. This is fantastic. This is all going according to, yep. Great!
Hey, what's up? It's your boy Rawk. I think we can all agree that there simply are not enough 3D platformers in the games industry. If you want to play a game in this genre, well, I hope you like Italians! And even then, when AAA developers eventually decide they want to squirt out a game in this genre, they end up just half-arsing it and we end up with games like Balan Wonderworld and Sonic Forces. It's not really a 3D platformer, but that's not gonna stop me from shitting on it! So when Sega's pissing you off and Nintendo's infertile, your best bet is to turn to the indie studios, who develop their games with a 90p budget. And sell them for 89.
They all have their own dedicated segments or levels, meaning that they're all incredibly situational, but they're all a good amount of fun.
I'm sorry, I must have misunderstood something, because I was not aware that Kirby and trains could exist in the same universe. And it's boring as shit! Look, guys, I know this is a bit of an awkward situation, but this is the time to put aside our differences. I mean, come on, he's getting married. We should be celebrating, not fighting.
Yeah, we only f***ing despise it because he didn't involve her, but if we get to join in the festivities, all is forgiven.
Yes! Okay, what's the first official bachelor party activity you want to take part in?
Tap water? I'm okay with this.
This is pretty damn good for a mobile spin-off of a series I don't care about. But I doubt it would ever be Nintendo's highest grossing mobile game outside of Pokemon Go.
I must be in my trivia off-season.
Now, I'm not a particularly secretive person when it comes to my spending habits. Look, Dad, I gave up. In this game, you play as Donkey Kong Jr. on a quest to save the captured Donkey Kong and make Mario cease to exist. Good fucking luck with that one. I'm actually pretty unclear on whether these are the actual ROMs, or if they're very faithful recreations. The former seems fairly unlikely purely because how the hell would they have gotten their hands on them? But also, there isn't a tremendous deal of footage that exists to check them against, so who knows?
Somebody probably does, but that somebody sure as hell ain't me.
Hey, what's up? It's your boy Rawk. My hobby recently has been deriving all of my self-worth from one physical object that I own one day at a time, and it's been going dreadfully, thank you for asking, but that's all about to change, because today, I'm deriving my self-worth from the fact that I own Chibi Robo on the GameCube. I'm going nowhere in life. Well, that stunk. Sure, Xenoblade looks good, Xbox did pretty well, and Sony had a really solid lineup. But without Square Enix and Ubisoft to not care about, combined with all of these shows just being scattered around June, this just didn't feel exciting. Every single year we have the same debate of, is E3 dead? Do we need it anymore? Is it all pointless? And to me, this year proved, without a shadow of a doubt, that E3 is irreplaceable. It's not perfect. Never has been, never will be. But with how sporadic and unorganized the shows this year were, the message could not have been clearer to me that this industry needs E3. Summer Game Fest is trying to be a replacement and a lot of companies are in on it, but it just doesn't have the same impact or warrant the same excitement. I think when the world is back to a state where E3 can finally have a physical presence again, people will know just what the hell I'm talking about, and I think when it finally makes its grand return, it'll be ready to blow our socks off, just like old times. But, if nothing else, this year's Not E3 did manage to keep one tradition alive. It pulled through and managed to give us another fucking Forza game.
Do you not know what an hour is?
I had never really gone out of my way to buy any game the day that it launched, but now that I had any money at all, and an imminent release of Kirby Star Allies, I decided I couldn't take it anymore.
Wait, we gotta throw you a bachelor party!
Somebody say party because I've been craving alcohol poisoning.
How the hell did you get in here?
It's because you leave your windows open.
So, who's conquering virginity?
I'll give you a hint.
No.
It's not me. Oh my god, wait, no. Did I f*** up?
I didn't want these guys to find out.
I'm so sorry. I just assumed that they'd be coming to the bachelor party.
And that is exactly why I didn't want them knowing.
They aren't invited, are they?
What? What did we do wrong?
Was it because on the one day we were together we wouldn't have sex with you?
Yes.
We've been over this. I couldn't afford it.
Oh, come on! I offered you a flexible payment plan!
But I didn't have any protection.
I get tested for STIs every day. I was clean!
Who said anything about you having STIs?
And sure, the whole blue coin thing is annoying by 2002 standards, but with a guide and a spare half an hour, it's not a problem in the slightest. People just want a reason to bitch. Well, instead of bitching, I'm gonna bitch about bitching, and bitch about people bitching about Super Mario Sunshine until they accept the truth. Sunshine is a good game, bitch! But some people think this level is on par with 8 too. Is it because of the platforms at the end? Because, honey, I don't know how else to tell you this. These are the same damn thing.
It's all about perspective. From my perspective, you're a bitch. And from your perspective, I'm right.
But putting the world of Minecraft into genres that a lot of Minecraft players wouldn't ordinarily try out, but will now just because it's Minecraft. Yeah, I'll give them that. A very wise move. Steve is the Mario of the next generation of gamers.
Which means they're fucked.
While trying to find our ship and crew, we stumble into a group of local thugs who are known only as the Summer Squash Scoundrels.
This neighborhood is going to shit.
There are people who look at Snorlax slippers and say,
This is great, but girls are scary.
but in order to 100% the level, you're gonna need a full meter of 30, which should be the motivation to get Baby Mario back. But no, I just want him to stop fucking crying!
Make it stop! Hey, what's up? It's your boy Rawk. I don't think I'm saying anything that hasn't been said before when I say that Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door is a damn good game. Like, man, clean water's the best, right? But I woke up on the wrong side of the bed this morning.
Where's the other side?
And because of that, I'm in a pretty shallow mood. So, this game. In fact, I don't even like Mario. I want to play the Thousand Year Door with a green hat and a cherry following me. But Nintendo is too stubborn to ever allow that to... I planned out my entire day around bitching about the fact that that wasn't a thing. What am I supposed to do now?
Panel de Pon, or Puzzle League, or whatever the hell it's called nowadays, has been completely neglected for decades now. I mean, it was part of the Nintendo Puzzle Collection on GameCube. Oh yeah? Big whoop, call me when it's on the Switch. Objection, Your Honor. That's bad for my case.
Hey, what's up? It's your boy Rawk. Ambitious is my middle name. If you don't believe me, check my birth certificate. It's in this folder in a booby-trapped room. Don't fucking question me. As someone with a hardy case of going above and beyond, I need to find a Nintendo character that I can relate to spiritually. And after considering all of the candidates very thoroughly, I think that I've found my spirit animal. I don't even need to tell you who it is.
I can just describe them. They were the first Nintendo character to ever make the jump to 3D, he revolutionized the platforming genre, and he has some of the most highly revered games Nintendo has ever released. Who could that be? My spirit animal is none other than Donkey Kong. Well, that would explain the potassium cravings I've had recently. Hey, what's up? It's your boy Rawk. You ever just get so bored that you burn a donut just to see what'll happen? It wasn't as interesting as I'd hoped it would be. It seems like no matter what I do recently, I always end up being bored shitless. And it's like, how can that even happen? I have Mario Tennis Open and multiple court cases to defend myself in. But you know what they say, boredom can lead to one of two things, creativity or poor financial decisions. Wanna guess how it affected me?
I think the lesson to take away from the early years of Nintendo Space World is that gaming reveals are important. They're pretty damn infrequent, and having a great reveal that really speaks to you is a rarity, so we really need to cherish them. Yeah, right. This was just an elaborate way for me to waste enough time to miss my dentist appointment. Sure, my gums bleed almost constantly, but I swallow the blood anyway, so it's back in my body, meaning it's exactly where it needs to be.
Come to think of it, Japan gets all of the games, whereas in the UK and US, we just get their table scraps. I guarantee you can't think of a game that didn't release in Japan, but did release here. They don't exist!
Is this a challenge?
I guess?
Boom, Hollow Knight. Next question.
Okay, well, that must be a rare exception.
Diablo 2.
Okay.
Psychonauts.
But-
Shantae Half Genie Hero.
I get it.
Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Okay, fine! You've made your point. I'm wrong. Jesus Christ.
No, I fully agree with you.
Then what the f was the point in that?
Funny.
Well, none of those signs helped me sniff out the bullshit on this piece of paper. That was pure instinct. But I did get in contact with the artist, and he's agreed to send me a better piece, and I've been waiting just dozens of words to take a look at it. It's perfect. Later, I discovered that I owned the Zelda Collector's Edition for the GameCube, which contains a bunch of pre-Wind Waker Zeldas, and I made a promise to myself. I swore that I would beat Ocarina of Time. But then... yikes. Well, hopefully that prediction was wrong, because I genuinely want to play this game. I'm finally open to trying new things. That's a rarity for me. I need to take advantage. Now, Ocarina of Time has a number of releases. Naturally, it was part of the Zelda Collector's Edition for the GameCube, but it also got a full-fledged remake on the 3DS. And despite the fact that I own both of these superior versions, I decided to hunt down an original cartridge so I could play this game on actively worse hardware.
Alright, it's finally time. Time to play the highest rated game of all time. It's time to play Ocarina of Time.
Son of a bitch.
Amazon also sells furniture, along with other things that make a house a home, like bed bugs. They have a pretty good selection of tables, which means if I'm ever in a pinch, I know where to go. But I'm not in a pinch right now, so I could always check out their selection of fridges, or hell, if I was feeling extra dirty, I could buy a mattress.
Just like that?
Wow! I didn't know my presence could cause manslaughter.
Yeah, as much as I condone breaking and entering, some warning would be nice.
Well, I thought I'd surprise you. See, I have big news.
You're no longer a prostitute?
God, no! I'm engaged! Not insane!
You still have time to reconsider. Wait a minute, you're engaged?
That's right. I'm as engaged as you are in debt. I'm getting married!
How could you possibly be engaged? Between Carson, Maxwell, and the two of us, we collectively know one woman.
You don't know if she's single or not.
She's my girlfriend. What's so funny?
Oh, sorry. It's just, you said you have a girlfriend, but, you're on Mario Party 4.
Those demographics overlap. I know at least 2 people who have both.
Yeah, one is you. Name me another.
Let me get back to you on that one.
And besides, for all you know, I could be into men.
Your Tinder profile seems to suggest otherwise.
Why on my Tinder profile?
Irrelevant. Now can we cut the bullshit? Who's the lucky lady?
Ah! A true bachelor never reveals his secrets.
We were so close to a new tomorrow. I'm not doing it. I'm not in the mood. I'm just too angry. When something pisses me off this much, how do you expect me to sit here with a smile on my face and go, "Hey, what's up? It's your boy Rawk." Look, the reason I'm so upset is that some game franchises, like Pikmin and Metroid, they struggle to see any sort of success despite being some of the best games I've ever played. And then a game called fucking Qumu goes viral. For what reason? How did this happen? That's like naming a company after a fruit and having it be one of the most successful companies in history. Oh, that fucking does it! King K. Rool won't let me finish. I would expect nothing less of him. Hey, what's up? It's your boy Rawk. Recently I've been having a recurring dream pretty much every night. Now it gets pretty confusing, so strap in. So in the dream, I have a wife. Now that we've got the confusing part out of the way, the wife always ends up being a Wii U gamepad, and considering every Monday I spend an uncomfortable amount of time right next to a Wii U gamepad, I don't know what to think of this. Maybe it's because I haven't eaten in 7.5 weeks, so I should probably return to my regular diet of a singular small chocolate bar.
Hold that thought.
Well, it wasn't a thought, but you can bet your ass I held it.
Some video games are like the flu. They never fucking leave you alone! I don't think I could have even been half as efficient as I was in this game without it. It's the reason I got 100 blue Pikmin in day 1, and I'm better than you for it, bitch!
You might consider that a weird thing to brag about. I consider it a threat to society.
If the newest entry in the 2D Metroid series is this difficult, then what happens if we go all the way back to the original game? Fuck.
Who knew this game included humiliation at no extra cost?
And you know what they say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. This wasn't broke, so they didn't fix it. With a goal in sight, I began my training. And I realized very quickly that if I wanted to be good at the newest Tetris, I had to be good at the original. I picked out the game, blew off the cart, and forbid myself from feeling joy in my heart.
Alright, after looking through all of my options, I've finally decided what my first ever online purchase will be. And I spent so long trying to decide that it's already here. So, what did I buy? A pre-owned water bottle. It's not Nintendo's most successful handheld, but the Nintendo 3DS is, and always will be, my favourite handheld console of all time. Alright, maybe the glasses were the missing ingredient, so let's put them on, and then let's give this a swing. Okay, I'll give up. Alright, we have hot dog buns for consumption, we have blackcurrant squash to drink, but we used all of the tap water, so you'll have to either sub it out for vodka or Mountain Dew. Your choice. We have plates, and if you guys want, we have the same selection of music and lights as last time.
You know, I think I could go for a candle right about now.
Yeah, and I just won't be in the mood to celebrate until there's some green light in here.
And my liver just hasn't suffered enough yet. Where's the beer?
So we all good now?
Yeah.
Do you understand why I have a panic attack when someone asks me what I want to play?
I don't know, I don't know!
Well, folks, that's all the time we have left for this episode of the Localization Appreciation Station. Make sure to tune in next time when we talk about chairs that never made it outside of Italy. It'll be riveting.
I can't wait! When does it air?
Well, you swore so much that you've made broadcasting in the UK a massive liability for this show, so the producers are probably going to have to figure out how we want to keep this thing running without losing all of our funding. Also, you're definitely not going to be allowed back on the show again, so I hope you cherished your television debut.
I couldn't help it, I just get so passionate about localization!
Fun excuse. Still bannable. But the next episode is supposed to air in a couple of weeks, so I'll keep you updated.
Thanks! It's been an absolute honor to be a part of the first and only TV show I've ever watched.
The honor was all yours, pal. Now go the hell away.
Well, I was about to head for some life-saving surgery, but that can wait, damn it! I'm about to watch the newest episode of the Localization Appreciation Station. I've waited so many minutes for this. I fucking region locked myself! Let that be a lesson to all of you non-virgins out there. If you want to avoid being burdened by Super Mario Maker on the 3DS, practice safe sex.
I don't want anybody to ever doubt that I play video games. I need everybody to know what I'm about. F it, Mario Calendar. If I'm not being told it's June by Super Mario Galaxy 2, I don't even want to know.
If there's a quicker way to get depressed, I'd like to hear it.
And to top it all off, these levels are wrapped up with a fight with one of the 7 Koopalings. Another batch of new characters that would go on to be series staples. Lemmy, Ludwig, Iggy, Larry, Morton, Roy, Wendy. You can't spell Rawk as predictable without predictable. And you also can't spell make a new Chibi Robo without bitch room. And the worst part of all of this is that they held the series hostage over this game's success. If you want more Chibi Robo games, you better buy Chibi Robo Ziplash. Maybe you should actually make a fucking Chibi Robo game instead of some bitch basic 2D side-scroller with some of the most infuriating mechanics known to man.
I have a lot of feelings about this game. And something tells me I haven't seen the last of it. We might be in the clear for a while now, so we might as well talk about a game that met the same fate.
You have to mass produce cartridges, cases, box arts, and inserts, and ship them worldwide to be distributed in stores. If I had to go through all of that effort just for disappointment, yeah, I'd be on meds too. With a digital copy, you wanna know how much effort goes into that.
Weep. Okay, now that we've got that out of the way, we should probably start thinking about food. What do you like to eat?
On a good day, bread. On a bad day, still bread.
Is today a good day or a bad day?
Fire in the hole!
Bad day. Duly noted.
But where are we gonna go for food?
Where else would we go than a massive fucking Asda?
But the nearest one's a 2-hour walk away, and none of us have a car. Is it possible?
Anything's possible with 1 bike seat and 4 gallons of no shame.
How long will it take by bike?
An hour 30.
I think I'd rather walk.
So, are you in more of a white bread mood or a whole meal mood?
I'm more of a hot dog bun mood, to be perfectly honest.
I was so clearly not talking to you.
Guys, I've got big bread economy. This place is crazy.
And so are their bread prices. Would you settle for hot dog buns?
Can I have something to put in the bread?
You're asking for a lot here. And with that, preparations are complete.
Did you get anything to drink?
Damn it.
You should probably get some deodorant. Please wear a 99% white hat.
Okay, now we have everything right. Don't play it. Fuck me. Now the next 4 levels are fundamentally remixed versions of the first 4 levels, so you know what that means!
Starry Sky, it's Glamour City again, and Scytheman found his ice cream. 5 out of 5. Windy Ocean, it's Rico Harbor turned airstrip, and the octopus doesn't f me over anymore. 5 out of 5. Hungry Mountain Peak. In order to slide down the mountain, we must first climb up the mountain, and avoid my favorite thing about the snow. Balls.
5 out of 5.
Edge Runner, it's Toad's Turnpike, but we get to change lanes and probably definitely cause some sort of road traffic accident that wasn't my fault. 5 out of 5. I still much prefer New Horizons though, because even if it was an inarguably inferior product in every sense imaginable, I don't want to touch Rosie the cat.
And neither should you!
This collection released here in America and over in Japan, but it never made it to Europe. The reason for this is completely unknown. A lot of people reached out to Nintendo of Europe to ask about it, and they were hit with the classic "we have nothing to announce" shtick. Imagine getting cock-blocked by Nintendo of Europe.
And that was Nintendo Space World from 1989 to 1994. Now, of course, none of the shows were really big enough to give their own individual scores, but I suppose I can give an overall score, and why not? I'll even use my Throne Controller's out of 7 scoring system. I know, I'm living on the edge. Across the 5 shows, there was some pretty decent stuff shown off. The Super Famicom, the Ultra 64, and hell, even some of the games shown off were pretty nifty. But we'd be lucky to get 2 big announcements per show. Years like 1993, we literally only got the Super FX chip announced, and nothing else, so it's kinda hard to give these shows high scores. But just because of Nintendo's fantastically incorrect sales projections for the Virtual Boy, f*** it. Hey, what's up? It's your boy Rawk. Summer is here, which means that my body is craving one thing and one thing only. Fruit! The sun does nothing for me. Now, given that my last fruit-based business proposal wasn't as successful as I wanted it to be, I thought it might have been a good idea to satisfy my cravings with a new fruity experiment. What I'm dreaming up is a fruit-based soup, because we all know that the worst part about soup is the soup. So if we grab a banana, a couple of apples, and some grapes, and blend those puppies together, then we should be golden. Now, I know you're probably thinking, isn't that just a smoothie? Shut up, they're different things. Add a secret ingredient and throw them in the microwave. We're only 2 short minutes away from pure, unfiltered deliciousness. Ugh! It doesn't work. I knew the vinegar was a risky move. Hey, what's up? It's your boy Rawk. God fucking damn it! I was just watching the reveal trailer for Bread Rebirth, and it looked incredible. Nice spongy base, perfectly crispy crust, but then they revealed that it wasn't coming out in PAL territories. F this!
The first volume of the book series ends with those ever-enticing words, "To be continued." And good God, I've never found any wait more difficult in my life.
Just tell me what happens next!
But I bought my GameCube copy on eBay, and yeah, it didn't work. This game released for a measly 89 pence on the Nintendo eShop, which means you have absolutely no excuse not to buy it. Like what, were you 10 pence away from a sex dice?
I mean, I was.
Well, f*** you, I got this game for free, that's still not an excuse! I nearly had to live with the knowledge that Mario and trains can coexist in the same universe, which is a horrifying thought to put it lightly.
That is the most terrifying thing I've ever witnessed, and I am currently in the process of being haunted.
They seem to really want to sell me plushes, and you know what? They got me there. I have been known to enjoy a plush or two in my day, but be honest with me for a sec. Do I seem like the kind of person who'd buy a Cubone plush?
No. The 3DS at face value just seems like another Nintendo DS. And while that's true, Nintendo didn't want you knowing that. You'd be less likely to give them money. So the 3DS does have a few key features to make it stand out from that system, such as the Circle Pad, your one-way ticket to full 3D movement on a handheld device. Mine comes with the fun quirk of having a detachable foreskin. But the headline feature of this console is, and always has been, the glasses-free 3D. Tell that to my fucking prescription.
The Donkey Kong Land games are a series of half remakes, half original games, essentially seeing Donkey Kong Country from the Super Nintendo squished onto a pomegranate. Is there a helpline for this kind of stuff?
With Pikmin 3 Deluxe, every mainline game in the series had received a port. But Pikmin 1 and 2 on Wii didn't really do much to enhance the games outside of giving them Wii remote controls and a 16:9 aspect ratio. For the most part, the Wii and GameCube versions were pretty interchangeable. But with Pikmin 3 and Deluxe, that simply isn't the case. Both versions of this game are very unique in terms of content and control options, so much so that both of these versions are able to stand on their own 2 feet. Some people swear by the Wii remote controls that the Wii U version offers, and after learning to love Pikmin 1 and 2 on the Wii, I totally get that. Some people swear by the Switch version for its portable play. Finally being able to play a proper Pikmin game on the go feels about as good as you'd want it to, so I get this too. And then some people swear by using the Wii U gamepad because my request to strip them of their freedom of speech is still pending.
So, how does the Giga Leak tie into this? Well, one of the biggest discoveries in this leak was the model for Luigi in Super Mario 64. Roughly 24 years and 1 month later, L was real.
Yeah, and I'm about to be stabbed.
This isn't a huge deal because the DS is one of the few Nintendo systems to not be region locked, so you can still have the pleasure of Starfy, my transatlantic friend.
You see, I did know that, so I actually ended up importing a copy of Starfy the other day. So f*** you, Nintendo! I can play Starfy without your permission!
You're holding a copy of Chibi Robo Park Patrol.
Oh, son of a bitch!
Alright, I just finished Breath of the Wild. Time to sell it on to buy Don King Boxing.
I make good choices.
But of course, our Kongs need a villain, and with Mario and Stanley the Bugman off the scene, we're introduced to King K. Rool and the Kremlings. Please? Fuck me. This game could use some fishing. But this one doesn't have waifus.
Or at least it shouldn't.
So Nintendo looked at Yoshi's Island and said, we gotta call this the sequel to Super Mario World. Why else would people want to buy it? Because this game's better than Super Mario World.
Your younger brother's better than you. This Luigi game is incredibly important to us. We need to hide clues about it in another game to make people want to find out more.
What about the Virtual Boy?
Just show some footage of a kid running away from the thing. Hit him with that reverse psychology.
I mean, it worked. But hey, at least the opening movie is in widescreen now. And I'm not talking about taking the original and stretching it out to fill the screen. What do I look like, a pussy?
No, I'm bitching about Mario Power Tennis on the Wii. How could I be one?
Metroid sees the bounty hunter Samus Aran being sent to the planet Zebus. Or as the game calls it, Zebeth.
It's okay, you can have a lisp and still be a badass. Just look at Sylvester the Cat.
And Dr. Mario. Because the only thing that was going through my head while playing the original was this is great and all. But I need my prescription renewed.
I've never felt so heard.
But none of these issues hold a candle to my biggest issue with digital games. You don't even fucking own them!
And you really want to own this, don't ya? Hey, what's up? It's your boy Rawk, and thank you for choosing Good Enough Productions, your one-stop shop for products and services that are, you guessed it, good enough. Our products and services thrive due to one simple reason. They have nothing in the way of competition, which means that their quality doesn't matter, because you have no alternatives. Why should Earl's Hot Dog Bonanza provide a more quality product when he's already monopolized that market? What are you gonna do, buy hot dogs from someone else? Don't be fucking ridiculous. One such product is Nintendo Space World, an event dedicated to revealing video games and being mediocre. But considering it survived 6 glorious years from 1989 to 1994 with no competitors, I'd say that it fits the bill of good enough. Oh, f***. We've never had to deal with anything like this before. Somebody get Make It Better Industries on the line stat! Hey, what's up? It's your boy Rawk. Nostalgia? No thanks. I'll stick to ignorance. Everybody and their granddad has an obsession with nostalgia. If they so much as smell something that reminds them of 7 minutes ago, they're filled with that warm, tingly feeling of joy that only nostalgia can bring. And quite frankly, that terrifies me. I don't want to be pandered to like that. You think seeing an 8-bit Mario sprite's gonna make me happy? Ha! Fat chance. It might make me horny though. So I want to try practicing the inverse of that. Looking at things from the past and doing the following. Oh my god, this game is so good! I fucking hate it!
It feels like every 2 minutes Nintendo's announcing another project with Kirby in it. Oh, he's in a fighting game, he's in a 3D platformer, he's in a Fall Guys knockoff, what's he gonna be in next? Court?
Do you think the jury would side with a walking marshmallow?
A typical play session for me goes a little something like this. I start a new survival world after deciding all of my others are worthless garbage, wander around until I die, decide this world is worthless garbage, and go into creative mode. I built a prison. Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, and Skyward Sword are all in there, which makes me miserable every time I think about it. Metroid Prime 2 and 3, Super Metroid and Metroid Fusion. I haven't played some of Nintendo's greatest and most loved games. Donkey Kong 64!
Nintendo's mobile games are definitely a mixed bag, there's no doubt about it. Some of them, like Super Mario Run, Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, and Dragalia Lost, are really fun little experiences. Some of them go a little bit over the top with their monetization, and some of them are Miitomo and Dr. Mario World. A lot of these games open the doors for some pretty scummy practices that prey on people who are very vulnerable to spending a lot of money on these types of things, which I'm definitely not on board with. But not all of these games are that way. They aren't games that I'm gonna play instead of the main entries in their respective series, but a lot of them offer an experience that's unique enough and enjoyable enough for me to come back and play every once in a while. When it comes down to it, Nintendo's mobile games make a worthy addition to the list of things that I can do on my phone. I can text my dad, I can play Pikmin, and I can receive the news that I'm being kicked off of my trivia team.
Online shopping! We've all done it. We're all human. Except I haven't, and I'm not. What the hell happened to Luigi's hat, you may be asking? A hamster happened to Luigi's hat.
Context is for bitches.
For the sake of simplicity, I'm gonna refer to these two games the same way Nintendo generally does. I'll call the one that the Americans couldn't handle Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels. And I'll call the funky as hell one Super Mario Bros. USA. Which means that neither of these games win. If they can't decide which one gets to be Super Mario Bros. 2, then neither of them get to.
I'm gonna make such a good dad someday.
But by shaking up the gameplay at pretty well-timed intervals, it means that no gameplay method the game presents ever outstays its welcome. Fuck! Ah! First I need to create a username, so let's go for Rawk. Taken. Alright then, Rump. Also taken. Rook? Rook? Fucking Rumpus? None of these names are working. Super Rawk 64DS. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner.
Hey, what's up? It's your boy Rawk. I've been pretty busy as of late. You see, I picked up a new pastime recently, and it's been pretty fun. What is it, you may be asking? Well, allow me to introduce you to my good friend. Now I know what you're thinking. Rawk, how deep have you gone down the rabbit hole of being a hypocrite? Well, let's just put it this way. The other day, I criticized a Mario game. Then, I played through Ocarina of Time. Who knows what I'm capable of? Maybe one day soon I'll say something nice about Sonic Forces. Somebody please fucking save me!
Did somebody order a me?
Hi, hello, who are you?
I'm a prostitute, by profession and name.
Oh, you came.
Not yet, I'm a professional.
Could you excuse us for just a sec? Why?
It wouldn't be a house party without sexual misconduct.
Who's gonna pay him? I have an addiction to feed. I can't do it.
You just had to bump up on numbers. Why would we need to pay him?
Level with me for a sec. Do you know what a prostitute is?
A what?
Fan-f***tastic. Okay, now where were... Damn it, have some decency!
What? I'm just looking for clients. I think I've worked with this guy before.
Keep him.
I mean, I could be a client. What are you selling?
Myself.
I thought we abolished that.
I'll let you abolish me for £40 a minute.
£10. That's a steal.
Alright, I think it's finally time for me to play Pikmin 2. I waited long enough, but the original game was an absolute delight, so I'm excited to see what the sequel has in store. Weird. What the hell's all that noise? Huh. Somebody really pissed those guys off. Oh, that somebody was me!
Every single shop you go to, there's a row of t-shirts with lame-ass gaming puns on them. Look at me, I'm wearing a PlayStation controller, please like me.
If you think wearing a PlayStation controller will make people like you, try eating one.
Well, that's a depressing note to end on.
I thought 1995 was the start of Nintendo Space World's redemption, the time when it became something really worth getting excited over. But that didn't end up being the case at all. The shows from 1995 to 1998 only really helped to highlight one thing.
the Nintendo 64 was in trouble. The development struggles that came with making the jump from 2D to 3D, combined with the fact that Nintendo was prioritizing an add-on that would end up being a catastrophic failure, meant that the Nintendo 64 had barely any games worth caring about. And because of that, Space World suffered. 1997's show was probably better than all of the pre-95 shows combined, but it was unfortunately an anomaly. So, how many throne controllers out of 7 am I going to give this batch of shows? Make It Better Industries didn't do shit for us.
After choosing our character from the overwhelming number of options we had, we're presented with, oh my god, levels!
Dude!
Little known fact about the games industry, there was once a time where E3 didn't exist.
It was called the Great Depression. God, I'm such a desk collector. I mean, I have this one.
His first and second games were massively successful and arguably defined the NES as a console, so I'm sure a third wouldn't hurt. Well, unless you do that. Now, 3D Zelda is a lot different from 2D Zelda. Sure, you play as Link, explore Hyrule, solve puzzles and fight some form of Ganon in both, but one of them has an extra D. These two styles of Zelda are a lot more similar than people give them credit for.
So, that begs the question, is there any way of ensuring that you don't end up with a bootleg on your hands? I think you're asking the wrong guy.
The biggest difference between Pikmin 3 and its predecessors is the number of captains, which is directly proportional to the number in the title after the word Pikmin. Can't wait for Pikmin 11.
What do you expect from me?
Now, admittedly, I'm not great at shooters, so whenever I'd encounter someone who'd spend 14,000 hours and their mortgage on this game, yeah, it never ended well for me. But Nintendo clearly looked at this design a few weeks after it released and said,
What did we do?
Volume 4 is when we get to the real dark part of the story, because every tale about a man in green needs heartbreak.
Well, I'm wearing blue, which means that my story will have bloodlust. Would not have guessed that.
Nintendo's lineup in January 2021 consisted of, oh hey, would you look at that, it's nothing. Yeah, Nintendo slept through their alarm and woke up in February. They had a Mario-themed Switch, you're asking for a lot here. Now, I need everybody to be respectful when I say this, because it's a pretty out there thing for me to say, and I don't want to feel judged. But as Nintendo's first home console, the NES is not a very powerful piece of hardware.
Don't shoot the messenger, shoot his cat instead.
This game was developed in 13 months. That's barely even a pregnancy! That is an insanely short development cycle for any game, let alone one as monumental as Smash Melee. And Masahiro Sakurai described his lifestyle during that development cycle as destructive. Well, no shit, it was destructive. You were making one of the most highly praised games of all time. New Super Mario Bros. U was developed in 3 years, and nobody's out here calling that a masterpiece.
Yeah, nobody would be stupid enough to say that.
And if we keep f***ing it up, we get obliterated, and we don't want that to happen. And then when we do escape, the game's over. Go home and go f*** yourself, jackass. Oh, but the faster we beat the game, the less clothing Samus wears in the ending. And if we beat it fast enough, we get to see an 8-bit bikini. I never thought pixels would make me so horny.
Yeah, sex, whatever. Who the f*** only wears a bikini under a mech suit?
Nintendo has dipped their toes in a damn good number of markets, purely because they were never really able to find a steady footing in any of them. Taxis? Why ever not? Sex hotels? Yeah, who wouldn't want to be conceived with the help of the guys who made Geist? Toys? Okay, please tell me you're seeing a connection here. The 2000s, or the noughties as some people call them, because those damn years never learned how to behave themselves. They decided to develop his own game, Super Luigi: The Marvelous Compass.
It's baffling to me how many people don't know about this hidden Paper Mario game. It's advertised like crazy within the 1000-year door. Not knowing that it existed would be like not knowing that you'd been shot. Hey, what's up? It's your boy Rawk, and don't mind me, I'm just seeking refuge in this random-ass cave. It's great. Yeah, apparently I upset some members of the Pikmin community with something I said about Pikmin 2. But I haven't even played Pikmin 2. I was about to,
before harassment kicked down my door. I don't get why everybody's so upset with me. And the worst part is, all this cave has is this random ass piece of paper. I would read it, but I don't want to be rude to whoever lived here before me. F it, I'm so bored. Let's do this! Oh, for the love of God, how could I? I don't even have a way of playing the game right now. Oh, never mind, this cave has a Wii. You sadistic sons of bitches, I didn't want to play the Wii version! So turns out this cave does have more than just this piece of paper. It also has spiders. Are you guys friendly or am I in danger?
After all, tennis was one of the sports crammed into Wii Sports, and playing tennis with a waggle wand feels so good. Why would Mario Power Tennis be any different? Well, Wii Sports was made with the Wii Remote in mind. Mario Power Tennis was made for something my grandma would squint at. Does Jesus approve of this? Everybody knows Paper Mario. Really, everybody. Ask Beethoven. I'm sure he has a strong opinion on Sticker Star. Nintendo revealed some upcoming games as well as the launch price, which many attendees noted was much too high. But Nintendo were very confident that by March 1996, this thing would have sold at least 14 million units. You cocky bitches got what you deserved. Is that even considered a strategy? Only becoming good when there's competition? Because if I was a hot dog retailer, I wouldn't be standing on the street side with a poster that reads, "Hey, I'm the best damn hot dog retailer in all the land. They taste like utter dog shit, but I have no competition, so I'm the best by proxy."
I just got Space World 1995'd.
We can also take a look at luxury handbags, something that's been sorely missing from my life. Or we could look at pet supplies, where I can buy dog nappies.
That's enough of eBay for me today, so why don't we trundle on over to Amazon, where we can buy the exact same things and get ripped off.
And this is made so much worse by the fact that this game doesn't have any sort of map system! Did you know there are nearly 30,000 different shades of pink?
What are you waiting for? Use them all! Hey, what's up? It's your boy Rawk. So many amazing games have been releasing recently for all of the major platforms, and there's still games from earlier in the year that I've still yet to give the attention they deserve. So, what am I gonna be playing today? Old shit.
This month opened with the final Smash Bros. Reveal on October 5th. Who was it?
Come on! It's been teased since before the game's release, everybody's been asking for it, and before now, Sakurai just hadn't been brave enough to do it. But it's finally time for Walu!
Let's go!
Wait! I'm going to bed for a few weeks.
Nintendo has spent the past decade or so in a pretty back and forth relationship with mobile gaming. They went from cowering in fear at the very idea of it, to full on embracing it and putting more focus into their mobile titles than their console equivalents in some cases. I'm not upset, it just annoys the f out of me. So why not take a look at all of Nintendo's mobile releases to see which ones were bad, which ones were abysmal, and which ones got discontinued in 2018. I know I really wanted to be back on Earth, but I could have done without the whole crash landing thing. I'm gonna be docking some major points from Metroid Prime for that one. Well, I'm finally back home, and honestly, I think I can happily say that my adventures in space will not be getting a sequel. I'm pretty content staying on Earth for the time being. One of the greatest parts about being back is that I finally have food! But a promise is a promise. If I say that I'm gonna turn a GameCube memory card into food rations, then I'm gonna stick to it, damn it! It's so good to be home! As much as I'd love to talk about the beta of, I don't know, Kirby's Air Ride, these ghosts seem to have other priorities. So I guess the only way to let the ghosts of these games pass on for good is to talk about the many mysteries and oddities wrapped under the veil of their development. In order to set them free, I need to talk about their betas. So much for my fun-filled Halloween schedule. I'm keeping the costume on. F it.
The only way to access the Sacred Realm is with 3 spiritual stones, one of which we obtained from the Great Deku Tree, and the Ocarina of Time.
Oh, come on! You mean that wasn't enough?
And now that I've beaten the game, I can play it again in hard mode, where I get to choose which world I start in. So if I was a fucking creep, I could start the game in world 4. Hello?
You've proved yourself worthy of being called a true Mario fan today. Welcome back.
Oh, thank God! You have no idea how happy that makes me. In fact, that makes me so happy that I'm gonna play the game again and start in world 4.
Whoa! Wait a minute. Why would you do that?
Because I'm a fucking creep, that's why!
By almost all accounts, this wacky Mario sequel that was born from an entirely different game would go on to act as a fundamental basis for all future Mario games. Apart from maybe that. But outside of the novelty of simply having Donkey Kong Country on the Game Boy, this is worthless. And that's saying a lot when Loops is on the same system.
Hey, what's up? It's your boy Rawk. Let's trade secrets. Everybody has a hobby or pastime that they'd rather keep under wraps. They don't necessarily want anybody knowing about them because they're afraid they'll be made fun of. You can consider me everybody. My favourite hobby is mass genocide, with gaming being a close 17th, so when I found out that those two things had been combined into one easily digestible genre, I was intrigued. But here's a secret I thought I'd be taking to the grave. I also despise shapes. I suppose I can make an exception.
Say what you will about the train.
It's a safe space.
Series of D-Masters.
Of course it is! Just like it's fair to say that I'm not gonna get shot. I stand by it. But at the end of the day, the iffy performance isn't nearly enough to ruin Super Mario Bros. 3. But even still, I don't think I can see the best Mario game of all time in this game. It's absolutely the best of the NES Marios, but it doesn't really feel like something that can never be eclipsed by anything that came after it. The game is really damn fun, and in my opinion, is at its best in Worlds 7 and 8. And while it's an incredibly enjoyable Mario experience, it still feels like it leaves a lot of room to grow. Don't get me wrong, it's a fantastic Mario game and introduced mechanics and characters that were going to be series staples. But it definitely isn't the best the franchise has to offer, if you ask me. Huh. Hey, what's up? It's your boy Rawk. Nostalgia? No thanks. I'll stick to ignorance. Hey, what's up? It's your boy Rawk. Crack out your snazziest pair of jeans and replace any form of showering with links, because it's time for a business proposal. Everybody loves a hardy video game, and I think we can all agree that video games are at their best when they're good. So instead of risking making utter dog shit instead of a great new game, why not take a game that's already great and remake it? That way, nobody can bitch at you! How did you fuck that up?
God, I'm really in the mood to buy a game, but not actually own it. Fuck yeah! The final show we're taking a look at today is Space World 1998, where Nintendo showed off.
Ah. They showed nothing.
Back in 1991, you didn't even have to think about the fact that you owned a copy of Operation Secret Storm, and you had to think even less about destroying it.
Now surely with a backlog being such an easy thing to accumulate, there have to be some strategies to tackling it effectively. Yeah, you'd like to think so.
This game is only published by Nintendo, and for a kid they adopted, they sure do treat it like one of their own. You release Mario Party the Top 100 only to turn out to be a good foster parent? Something seems fishy about that. As someone who's never even touched these games, they all look the same. There's nothing about this one that makes me want to play it over the last one, or the one before that, or at all. If I wanted to drive, I'd just drive.
But oh boy, I'd love to see a new Mario Party.
Because every piece of art is only as strong as its gameplay.
This is a visual masterpiece! But the gameplay bored me out of my mind!
So, if you ever find yourself in possession of a bootleg, then always remember, do the right thing. But if you'll pardon my French, this game does not run well. The 3DS chokes on this game! I'm not gonna king shame, but I'd really rather it didn't. And when combined with the refined gameplay and serene score, makes this game feel like nothing but a treat to play. So how does it play?
Have you ever heard of video games?
So on paper, it seems like transitioning over to this unconventional controller should be a smooth process. And for the most part, it is. But I miss using the controller I have to explain to my parents.
Just stop playing those damn bongos, I'm trying to sleep!
Oh, come on, it's for Donkey Kong!
That means that I can actually verify whether or not my copy of Mario 64 DS is real. Place your bets. Oh, god fucking damn it.
Well, there goes another kidney.
So, what's my overall take on the caves? They're fine.
Wouldn't recommend living in one, though. Hey, what's up? It's your boy Rawk. You see this? F it. I'm getting pretty tired of the whole being respected thing. I can say things and people just listen. I went into a game shop the other day and asked if they had any copies of Pilot Wings Resort, and that was considered to be a normal interaction? They didn't have it, by the way. Obviously, this needs to change. Who knows what people can give a shit about me talking about? But, lucky for me, I have a foolproof plan on how to have anything but a reputation. And all it takes is this. See this? F it. I don't really like this one very much. I'm in God's hands now. Now on the DS, Nintendo dabbled in the let's not even bother discounting our games market. And I think they began to realise players' choice wasn't really doing them any favours. So they introduced Nintendo Selects instead. They don't just want you dead, they want to dance on your grave.
This, combined with the fact that the end of every level looks like you're running off stage, and the fact that the platforms are seemingly bolted to the background, led many to speculate that Super Mario Bros. 3 was actually a stage play.
Which unlucky son of a bitch got cast as Goomba 14?
This theory was later confirmed by Shigeru Miyamoto. So Mario 3 already has one big advantage over the first two games. I can watch this fucker in a theater! Just because I can, doesn't necessarily mean I should. And hey, this version's easier to get your hands on anyway. You just need to own a corpse.
I can lend you one.
These games must have so much in common, like jumping and clouds. Like, fun fact, some people buy gamer pillows and feel content with their lives.
I struggle with human interaction.
Like, are they okay? Man, I want to get some sleep, but my head isn't touching a switch. Perfect. 7-2. We're swimming again. My prayers have been answered. But God is really sadistic. Graphically, sure, it's a Nintendo 64 game. It's very limited in what it could be. I've seen more attractive grapes than this game, I get it.
To be fair, that's not much of a dig on Ocarina of Time. Name me something sexier than grapes. So that leaves us with 6 contenders. Alright, what was my game of the year? Well, I'll give you a clue. It wasn't Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Mario Golf Super Rush is a damn good game. But come on, I'm a gamer. Do you really expect me to say, oh, the best thing I did this year was golf? Mario Party Superstars is one of my favorite multiplayer experiences on the Switch. But it's in a weird grey area. It's not a re-release, but it focuses entirely on old content. There's really nothing new here, so I don't think I can warrant putting it above any other game. WarioWare Get It Together is one of the most unique games in the Switch's lineup. It was a blast the whole way through. But no matter how much I keep trying to convince myself that this could be my game of the year, these two damn games keep calling my name! New Pokemon Snap was a magical experience, some of the purest bliss that the Switch has to offer. This game reinvigorated a childlike glee that I haven't felt since New Horizons, but still, this game is amazing! But Metroid Dread is an absolute masterclass of design. Every aspect of this game is damn near perfect. I don't think a game has hooked me this badly in years, and the gameplay loop is so addictive that I never wanted to put this damn thing down. New Pokemon Snap was fantastic, but I spent £80 and battled scalpers to get my hands on this game, and it was beyond worth it. So my game of the year was Metroid Dread. New Pokemon Snap came damn close, but I have to give Metroid the upper hand, and I can't wait to give the same title to the next mainline Metroid game in 2082. Hey, what's up? It's your boy Rawk. You want to know my least favorite thing about most GameCube games? Hands down, the fact that they're on the GameCube. I don't want to play games on this thing. What do I look like? Someone who gives a shit? Absolutely not! Which is why I only play games on consoles that my grandma plays. And it's a damn nice bonus if they shoehorn motion controls in there.
Now, brace yourselves, I do have beef with this game, and it comes in the form of the most ungodly abomination known to man. Ducks. Who the f*** let you into the zoo? This is no damn duck, it has more in common with Pac-Man than a Quackman. But I suppose that's okay, because the other main enemies in this game are bees. The birds and the bees used to work together and now they're at war. What a powerful lesson!
Yeah, if you ever want to teach your kids about sex, give them Tori 3D!
After this game, Donkey Kong began to see sequels, and the character would eventually expand into its own series. So what if we took Jumpman and did the same thing?
You.
Worse graphics, more limited controls, full price, and actively worse. That's how I want my games, if that's quite alright with you.
Who am I, the Nintendo Switch?
From what I can tell, X and Y fine, Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire good, Sun and Moon bad, Ultra Sun and Moon fucking befuddling. Where do I stand with these games? As far away from them as possible. Which means if I'm still working through another game when I buy Pac-Man World Repack, then one of two things happens. Either Pac-Man World gets added to the backlog, or I'm a bitch. But what does Yoshi bring to the table to make himself stand out from Mario? 4!
If you'll kindly excuse me, I need to go talk to a lawyer.
Well, you know what? F it! This game is no Nintendo Land, but it has levels, and that's more than enough of an excuse for me to take my Level in Banjo-Kazooie 5-point scale for another spin. Let's fucking do this!
E3 2022. After an all-digital event in 2021 that saw a lot of companies holding hour-long events to talk about their feelings and very little else, they decided to go for an interesting new tactic of giving up. And also target testing in case you want to drive yourself insane doing it with every character.
Been there, done that, got on the waiting list for therapy.
Well, we're 2 for 2 with good 3DS games so far, so let's keep that ball rolling with the best 3DS game!
Is it fair to say that Nintendo peaked when they released Animal Crossing New Leaf? And if it's not, does that mean I'm at an advantage?
So many games out there to play, AAA darlings with hundreds of people working on them, and hundreds of hours of content packed inside of them. You, I'm playing Tori 3D today, bitches! I genuinely adore this game, and I feel absolutely no shame in calling it my favorite game of 2009. What are you gonna do? Tell me Ant Nation deserves it more?
Damn it, you might be right.
Luigi and Hazy take to the stage in order to win the 4th part of the Marvelous Compass in the Jazzafras Town Drama Slam. And Luigi's breathtaking performance as Grass causes them to win the contest. And it's heavily implied that Kirby and Pants exist in the same universe.
And you wonder why I don't like this game? Hey, what's up? It's your boy Rawk. I hate quality. I want things to be actively worse, thank you very much. When possible, I want to play my games in the most simple form I can. This is the life.
An update to Forza Horizon 5.
I said wake me up in an hour!
Now, the people trying to turn the Mario 64 beta into a creepypasta, come sit down. Let's have a chat. If I wanted to, I could take a look at their selection of motoring goods. That way I never have to use eBay again. Let's look at fucking Toyota, I don't know. And they have Toyota branded sunglasses? Hell yes!
How many of these could I buy without concerning my bank?
A lot of treasures are found in the one single part of this game that sent shockwaves throughout the Pikmin fandom. The most love it or hate it element of the entire series. The caves.
Does this mean there's a legitimate chance of me being saved by Pikmin?
This is unquestionably the biggest category in my backlog, because I can't just be content with what I have. I must buy Lego City Undercover for the Wii U!
You don't want to know what happens when I don't do that.
And the freedom of movement of both the player and the enemies could make aiming a miserably difficult task. The devs knew this would be the case, however, so they introduced the miracle that is Z-targeting.
God, that feels dirty coming out of my very British mouth. It's time to go home.
Turns out after all of that, I no longer hate this game. I used to think it was terrible, bad, stupid, and lame. I guess the lesson learned is that our minds can be turned. Oh, this game still ain't nowhere near the top. But regardless, we're switching it up.